Hi there, and welcome back to the Soul House Yoga Retreat channel. As I prepped to do this today, I realized that I wore this exact same outfit when I did my first recordings than when someone asked me how to do headstand. That was 8 years ago. I still have the same yoga outfit. So I know these days people are all into buying new yoga clothes and all that, but let me just say, yoga is not about your clothes. And so if you're comfy in them and they last, wear them. So anyway, here we are again. And what I'm going to do today is I would like to teach people balanced crow and then see if we can add the headstand on. So let's see how we do. I'm doing this on the carpet. The carpet is always a little more challenging to balance on than a wood floor. However, if you fall, a carpet is a lot more comfortable. So the nice thing about balanced crow is it's not too far to fall to the ground, though you could fall on your chin. So we're going to look at some options there. So hopefully that doesn't happen. First of all, to do that balanced posture, it helps to have your hips fairly open, right? So here I am in a crow squat with my elbows pushing my knees open a little more. Some people's heels come off the floor and they can still balance. The idea is to get your back as straight as possible. Some people are rounded. That has to do with that flexibility in your hips again in relation to your back and spine. Anyway, let's move on to this balancing posture. So this balancing posture, I'm going to first demonstrate it without any props. The way I do it is the way they do it in Iyengar yoga, a very anatomical form of yoga that I believe is really one of my favorites. So I love yoga in general because I think it helps me keep doing yoga into my golden years, which I am sort of in. So you're going to bring your knees and hug, if you can, your upper arm. If that doesn't work, what works for a lot of people whose hips might not be open enough to do that, and also just because of the way they do this pose, is to take their knees on the arm. That's never worked for me. It just never stays there on my arm. Maybe because I have little arms. Don't know why, but it doesn't work for me. So always, always spread fingers wide. Always, always 90-degree angle with the wrists. Now, there's always a push-up, pull-up polarity in everything in life, including these yoga poses, which means that you're not just grounding down into the floor to balance. No, you're going to lift up your hips. You're going to lift up your upper back. You're going to lift up your belly. And you don't want to lift your hips up too much. But what I mean is you're not just pressing down. As a matter of fact, that's a very good question about the hips. But let me just show you this. So I'm going to hug my knees in. The other thing is my gaze. If you look down in your gaze, you're going to likely fall. You got to find that center of gravity. So as I bring my heels up, I'm going to squeeze my belly, my center of gravity. I'm going to squeeze my knees in, which helps me squeeze my belly, my center of gravity. And my gaze is slightly forward. So I'm going to come up now. And if I'm not sure how to balance here, start with one foot, gazing forward, lift the other foot, maybe bring them together. Okay? Now let's say you're not getting there yet and you're a little worried you're going to fall. I don't have bolsters here right now, though we have plenty of them here at Soul House, and I'm in the office, not the studio right now. But what you can do is you can take blocks or a bolster, and then you'll have somewhere that your chin can rest when you're doing this. So you come forward, and now my chin is on the blocks, right? So that's an option. One more option with blocks for this posture is to actually get up on them. And this is where I tell my little story that I've taught a lot. When I teach this, I've told the story again. So there a lot. There was a king who's had two beautiful birds that were gifted to him, and one flew around the courtyard, and the other one didn't. And so he tried to get all these important people to figure it out. Finally, he called on a farmer, and then he saw the second bird flying around the courtyard, and he said to the farmer, "What did you do? How did you get that bird to fly?" And he said, "I cut the branch." So sometimes when we're afraid to do a pose, it takes cutting the branch and just finding that little thing that's going to help you fly. So this might be it. So now you're a little higher. You're a little higher, spreading fingers, 90-degree angle of the wrist, squeezing my knees in. I look forward, one foot, then the other. Then I come back. And what I say to people is if you do this for 1 second, you've got the pose, and then you'll work on it, right? So let's see, can we take this up a notch? I honestly don't know how beautifully I'm going to do this today, but I'd like to see if I can show it to you. So the next step might be to take this into a headstand, and that might be kind of fun. So here you've got this pretty proficient, and the reason I don't have my hair tied up today, I'm going to try it without my hair tied up, is because if you have a bun, you might land in the wrong place. You want to try to land on the top of your head and not get your bun, confusing you there. So here I go. I'm going to come up. I'm going to gaze forward. I'm going to drop my head down. I'm going to change my weight a little bit so my hips are over my shoulders. I'm going to come up into my headstand. Hold it for my actually having some cramping going on my toes because of my bunions. But anyway, there I am. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to take a nice inhale, see if I can come back up. I think I did. So there you have it today. I think that's plenty to work on. So just take it step by step. This is definitely not a beginner pose, and every body is different. I have one friend who's about my age who's been teaching yoga about at least 20 years, and she has the kind of build where she can teach a lot of standing balance poses very strongly, but I don't think she ever attained this one. And so, as a yoga teacher, if you're a teacher, as a yoga practitioner, we're not going to be able to do everything, right? So just do what you can. All right, well, it's really fun to get back. I haven't recorded anything for a little bit because it is 2024 and my retreat season just opened at Schoolhouse, and I have a little break today because our guests are out at the beautiful Baxter State Park hiking. So nice to see you, and I will come back again. Please, if you have any poses that you want me to address, and if I can address them, not all of us can do everything, I will. Meantime, have a wonderful day. Keep breathing through your nose, doing your yoga, and doing the best you can to stay balanced and focused in this crazy time we're living in. Namaste.